Hello! Welcome to my Shaw Brothers episode. I have a massive Shaw collection now, thanks to Arrow Video and Shout Factory. It's basically the pride and joy of my entire collection. I had never seen anything, any of these classic Shaw movies that are in any of these box sets before I bought them from Shout. But I was so happy because I'm a huge fan of martial arts. And it was, oh man, I couldn't even tell you how happy these make me. It's actually quite insane. And I thought I should just showcase off my entirety here. I have everything released by them pretty much so far. I have the 5th volume from Shout Factory that comes out in January, pre-ordered. So I'm excited for that. And then I have, this just came out today, on, what's today? November 24th or something? I don't even know what the day is today, but this just came out today, so this is my newest addition to my Shaw collection, and oh my god, I couldn't be happier. So without further ado, I will show off the newest edition. Wish I had a drum roll, like beautiful green packaging here. Oh man, it's awesome. Shaw Scope Volume 3. Did not know whether this would even get a release. I'll just set that there for now. Actually, shout out to Brendan from Our Life in Horror, because the day that this was announced, he sent me a link to the news article. That's how I found out about it. So I pre-ordered this like 7 months ago, back when it was up for pre-order. The minute it went on, I pre-ordered, because I just never know, like whether some of these things are going to sell out or not. And so on something I know I absolutely have to have in my collection, I usually pre-order. But yeah, man, oh, what a collection this is. This is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I haven't watched everything, obviously. We're talking about, how many films is here? Like, almost, pretty much 12 in every collection. It's like 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 90, and plus some have 13. Like pushing 100 movies here. And everything I've watched so far, nothing has been under a 2.5 out of 5. All the way up to a 5 of everything I've watched. So to not keep this episode, this is more of a showcase episode. Like, I just want to show these off, and just because it's so freaking awesome, man. Like, every time I get one of these in my hands, I'm just like, oh, I'm itching to throw them in. But I'm going to start off here by showing you some of the stuff. All of it. And stuff I have seen, I'll talk about a little bit. So, this I have not seen, Volume 3, so I'll save that to the end. That I just opened that like an hour ago. But I will start with, let's start with Shaw Scope Volume 1, which I have talked about on my channel before. I have one of my earliest episodes, I did a full, basically review on each movie in here. But I am gonna, in case you haven't watched that previous episode, I'm gonna literally showcase off everything I got here for a second time. So they all come with these books with all kinds of artwork, massive write-ups about all the films, and then at a certain spot in the book, you get to each page dedicated to one of the movies in the box set. And it's that, so this whole entire thing is dedicated to just King Boxer, the first movie in the box set. And then it does it for every movie. Every single movie. It's fucking unreal. These are the best. It's unreal. This makes me so freaking happy. It's the most excited I get in buying anything. So, got so much here, I don't even know where to put stuff. So then, yeah, like you got the films here. Each one is its own page, basically. Like this is King Boxer. You get the beautiful artwork on one side. King Boxer, I gave a 4 out of 5. Excellent movie. If you've seen Kill Bill by Quentin Tarantino, he takes a lot from this movie. Every time, like this main good guy here, every time he gets into fights at a certain point, his hands glow red, and it makes the from Kill Bill. So, I'll just do quick skims, because like I said, I've already done deep reviews and deeper thoughts on all these special features out the ass on each one of these discs. Second movie, Boxer from Shantung. I gave this a 4 as well. Excellent gangster-like film. A guy rises from the gutter. He's like a homeless man, and he rises up to slowly take over all the different areas of the town he lives in, Shantung, and slowly rises up into one of the best final acts of all the Shaw Brothers movies I've seen. This one, you got 5 Shaolin Masters and Shaolin Temple. Solid. I'm not gonna go into detail. I've seen both of these. They're both awesome. Must-sees. The Mighty Peking Man. This is almost like a King Kong clone. Really well done. Pretty sure I gave this a 3.5. Those last two, 5 Shaolin Masters, I gave that a 3, and Shaolin Temple, I gave a 2.5. And that's one of the most loved movies by Shaw Brothers, but I found it a little bit too boring, to be honest. I'll leave it at that. Mighty Peking Man, this is borderline horror movie, adventure. It's a King Kong clone. They find him in the jungle, and they bring him back. She's been living with him in the jungle, and it escapes. Leave it simple. Challenge of the Masters and Executioners from Shaolin. Both of these I gave a 3.5 to. Phenomenal shit. This guy here. Oh my god, how am I blanking on his name? Oh. Chen. Oh, here we go. I found it. It's Chen Quan Tai. Chen Quan Tai. And Gordon Liu. These two guys will appear in tons of these movies, along with all the actors. As you start watching them, you start to notice, and you start to know all the actors more. Like, it was my first watching of a lot of them, so I didn't know anybody. And then they start appearing and reappearing in movies, and they just bring in. But yeah, excellent. Both of these are freaking excellent martial arts movies. 4s. Chinatown Kid. This was a really good one. This was my introduction to what the heck is this guy's name? That's gonna bug me. Still trying to learn all these names. Well, it doesn't matter. It's this guy's character here, and he's freaking excellent. This one is another, like, coming from the gutter, basically, and rising up in power, and he starts making decisions that aren't good, but he's a good guy, and he tries to change his life around. Really good storyline. Alexander Fu Sheng. That's the guy's name. The 5 Venoms and Crippled Avengers. 5 Venoms is one of my favorites. I gave that a 5. Just phenomenal shit here. Crippled Avengers, this one I gave a 3. Lots of fun to be had in both of these, obviously, but this one's a highlight. Frickin' unreal. Heroes of the East and Dirty Ho, 2 4.5s for me. Heroes of the East is just classic shit here. There's a fight between him and his wife. He gets a wife from Japan. and he's Chinese. So their two cultures, it's a movie about their two cultures kind of clashing. And there is so much hilarious, just awesome shit that goes on between him and his wife. His wife gets angry, goes back to Japan, and gets all of the masters of the different Japanese martial arts styles to come beat the shit out of her husband. And so it becomes a final act where he has to take on all the different black belts and masters of each martial arts that the Japanese study, like karate and taekwondo, ninjutsu, stuff like that. It's freaking awesome. Dirty Ho. Did not know what to expect from this because of that damn title. It's freaking awesome. But there's two clashing scam artists. One of them, played by Gordon Liu, turns out to be someone that he's not portraying himself as. And it becomes more of a story of taking on a disciple and trying to make him good. And it's really good. Lots of excellent choreography in that one. And then you get the soundtracks you get CD of the soundtracks, 2 of them. And yeah, all the music. This first volume, honestly, unreal. I was so happy. This was the first thing I bought from Shaw Brothers. Box sets, sorry. First one of all these box sets I bought. And I watched it immediately. And I was like, oh my god, these are, like, this is unreal. I couldn't believe that I had never seen these, because I've seen every modern martial arts movie from like the 90s on, because I've been a huge fan of martial arts, and even like action fighting and stuff like that movies. And so the first time I watched this, I was like, oh my god, I can't believe these exist and I've never seen them. So yeah, volume 1, must grab. And then I will jump over to volume 1 of this is volume 1 here of the Shout Factory, sorry, not Scream. These are really nice box sets as well. It has the volume 1 just in the little thing there. Has all the films on the back. And then it has them all in their cases. These sets from Shout Factory, I haven't dived in quite. Like, I've seen a bunch of them, but I haven't, like, deep dived on these ones yet. So I'll start with a couple. Well, sorry, I won't even go deep, because I'll be here all night if I do that. I'll just show you. First one here, it's got a movie called The Flying Dagger and The Golden Sword. Haven't seen either of these. That looks like Cheng Pei. Excellent actress. She's in both of them, actually. She's probably the lead. She's freaking excellent in all these. Awesome. Can't wait to dive into those two. Can't wait to dive into all of these, man. It's going to be a Shaw Brothers marathon coming up here. The next two, these two I have seen. First, we got The Thundering Sword, which I gave a 3.5 to out of 5, and it was freaking cool. Just a bunch. I won't go into storyline. I'll just give my scores, because like I said, I got so much to go through here. One day I'll do, like, I'm going to start knocking off these Shaw Brothers as an entirety. Like, I'm just going to knock them off in a week, basically, each box set. And then I'll do deep dives and give my deep review thoughts. The Golden Swallow is the other one. I watched that one as well. I think I gave that a 3. Solid stuff here. You got Cheng Pei again in both of them, along with all kinds of other people. Those two I did watch. This one I watched as well. It's called The Assassin. Really freaking good one. Lots of like romance in this one, mixed with excellent martial arts. Really good. Gave that one a 3.5 as well. Now the rest of them I haven't seen in this box set. The Invincible Fist and Dragon Swamp. Haven't seen either of those. Can't really tell. You got Cheng Pei showing up again though. Another thing you'll notice with Shaw Brothers is if you do pick these up, which I highly recommend. I couldn't recommend these more. Even if you just like action movies, like, man, they're good in both English and Mandarin and Cantonese. Like, no matter how you watch them, even the dubs can be cheesy. I don't watch them in dubs because it can really take a lot of the emotion. Like, if there's scenes that call for like a lot of feeling, the dubs just suck the life out of it. They almost make the movies funny when they're not supposed to be funny, just because sometimes they're really bad. But like, just read them, honestly. But if you don't, a lot of them do come with dubbed, so they're worth buying either way. Next, you got the Jade Raksha, and the Bells of Death. Both of those titles on these, man, sound awesome. Next up here, you got the Sword of Swords and Killer Dart. God, every time I read one of these titles, I'm like, man, I gotta throw this shit on. Ooh, this one, Sword of Swords, has Jimmy Wang Yu, who's the star of a few of the movies in this new Shaw scope that I'm gonna get to at the end, because that's the meat and potatoes, obviously, because it just came out today. But yeah, awesome titles there too. I haven't seen either of those either, so can't really give my thoughts on those. But yeah, like, geez. And then I'll jump to Volume 2 of the Shaw. Start pulling stuff in here. Jump to Volume 2. Beautiful boxes here. Like, obviously my Shout Factories aren't as nice as what Arrow's doing with these. But the Shout Factory ones, I find, are the lesser known ones. Like, they're more like the deep dive into Shaw Brothers Studios and classics, because they're just the lesser known movies, where the Arrow ones are all their biggest titles they ever did out of their studio. First up here, we got Lady of Steel and Brothers 5. Lady of Steel, that sounds like a pretty awesome title. Another cool thing is how much they showcase the women in these movies. Like, there's lots of women in powerful roles. It's really cool. The Flying Guillotine and the Dragon Missile. Sounds pretty awesome. The Dragon Missile, that's pretty wild. Flying Guillotine. Pretty sure I've heard of that one. I think that's one of the bigger name ones. Next up here, we got the Crimson Charm and the Shadow Whip. That looks like Cheng again. Yep, Cheng Pepe. I think that's how you pronounce her name, Cheng Pepe. It's what it looks like, so that's the way I read it. I haven't watched any of the movies in this one yet. That's why I'm just reading you the titles, not giving you scores. We got Delightful Forest. The Delightful Forest, and The Devil's Mirror. Sounds cool. One thing I have to say, too, is that not all of these, like almost every one of them, are classic martial arts movies. But some of them get where they're borderlining on whether they're a martial arts movie or, like, some of them are romance movies. And then there'll be a couple that are, like, horror movies. Really cool shit. The next one here, we got Man of Iron and The Water Margin. Tons of special features, too, by the way. Like, these are insane. They're just packed. It's kind of crazy how much shit you get out of these. And then next you got The Bride from Hell. That sounds fucking awesome. And Heroes 2. Now, one thing that's wild is The Bride from Hell. I just watched a horror movie. Actually, I showed it off on my channel here. It was the Dia Gothic box set from Radiance. There's a movie in there called The Bride from Hades, which is pretty much the same title. But this isn't the same movie, because that's a different studio. So The Bride from Hell. That's interesting. I'll be interested to see that. See how close it is to the other one I watched. Next up here, let's go with volume... This is 3, right? Yeah, volume 3. Beautiful artwork again. Love the orange coloring in that. All of their superstars showcased on it. As per usual. You got the Shaolin Avengers and the Web of Death. 2 awesome titles there. Next up, you got Life Gamble and Soul of the Sword. I like that title, Soul of the Sword. The Vengeful Beauty and Death Duel. Death Duel. Wonder what that means. That looks like it has the frickin' Venom dudes. Yeah, another thing you'll notice too if you start watching through these is that the same groups of actors are always in the same movies together, and they all have names. When you look at it outside of the movies, their groups have like names. It's really cool. This one only has one. Killer Clans. Must be a bigger release. Gets its own disc. Oh, they all get their own disc, but gets its own case, sorry. Because inside these, you do get the double discs. Each movie gets their own disc. Next, you got The Deadly Breaking Sword and Clan of the White Lotus. I'm liking those titles. Those are sellers. We got Gordon Liu here, too. One of the greatest martial artists of all time. Guy's phenomenal. And then the last one for this one is Shaolin Abbot and Shaolin Rescuers. Don't know if these are connected. It's different actors in each one, so probably not. But yeah, another frickin' beaut. And then I'll just show the last one here too, and then I'll deal with these last 2 arrows here, I guess. This is volume 4. Like I said, I got volume 5 coming in January when it comes out. In this one, you get Shaolin Prince and Shaolin Intruders. Shaolin galore. This one, these titles sound good. The Masked Avengers and House of Traps. That sounds fun. Next up here, you got The Sword Stained with Royal Blood. That's freaking cool. And then you got 5 Element Ninjas, which is another one of the highly praised ones. So, might have to throw that one on later. Next up, you got Legend of the Fox and Black Lizard. Sounds cool. Almost horror-y. Here we go. You got Holy Flame of the Martial World, which I watched yesterday, and it was fucking crazy. Batshit crazy, this movie. Holy Flame of the Martial World. This one came out in the 80s. Both of these on this title did. The other one's Opium and the Kung Fu Master, which I also watched. Both of these were 4s. And this first one here is, you have to see it to believe it. It's almost like an anime live action. It's just crazy. Like, people are shooting. Some people have powers where they can shoot lightning or laser beams out of their fingertips. There's people that can laugh really hysterically and loud, and it's really funny looking, and it like deafens people's ears. And then there's a clan of people where their ears can go closed so that the laugh doesn't affect them, and it's fucking wild, banana shit. And then Opium and the Kung Fu Master is a really like heartfelt movie. Great martial arts in it though. Good story. Just bunch of people getting addicted to opium and it just ruining their lives basically, and the struggle to get better. Cool shit. And then we got The Rebel Intruders and Two Champions of Shaolin. Rebel Intruders I watched. I haven't got to Two Champions yet. Rebel Intruders was pretty cool. It's exactly what it says. There's some rebels and they're intruding. And then Volume 2 here of Shaw Scope. Now this box set is the fucking goat, basically. Of all these, this one's a beast, and it's got some good shit. It's got the book again. I don't need to show that off. Like I said, I did the Shaw Scope Volume 1 and 2 in their own episodes back when I first started my channel. If you want to check those out. The 36th Chamber of Shaolin, widely regarded as one of the greatest martial arts movies of all time. On some lists, it is rated number 1. And I don't agree. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. But I actually think that I like the sequel, Return to the 36th Chamber, better than the original. And Disciples of the 36th Chamber, the third movie, is also really good. But it's a little bit worse than the first one. So I would actually go number 2, number 1, number 3. And it's a 4, and a 3.5. Excellent. Gordon Liu is a fucking master. If you've never seen him in a movie, watch this trilogy. And you'll be like, oh wow, this guy's a kung fu master. Great actor. Funny. Everything. Mad Monkey Kung Fu and 5 Super Fighters. I don't really remember 5 Super Fighters very much. It's been a while since I've seen that one. But Mad Monkey Kung Fu, exactly what it is. Frickin' dudes, expert in monkey style, and it's frickin' cool, man. We got Invincible Shaolin and The Kid with the Golden Arm. Both of these were excellent. Kid with the Golden Arm had a lot of like, it felt like every character was a bad guy. There was no like good guy. They're all kind of pieces of shit, so leads to a lot of like a solid ending. Magnificent Ruffians and the 10 Tigers of Kwantung. The 10 Tigers of Kwantung, these guys are all together in shit tons of movies. Like in this movie, it's kind of like their origin story, basically. And then I just watched a movie, that other one I was just talking about, the Opium movie. It has this guy in it, and they even call him like he's one of the 10 tigers, and this is him running this village now, basically, and it's like side stories. Just awesome, though. 10 Tigers is a great one. My Young Auntie, awesome movie. This is almost gangster feeling. It's sort of gangster feeling. Like it's a family, the head of a family dies, and everybody, all the different heads of the smaller, like the branches of their family, lost my train of thought there. They're all fighting for the leftovers, basically. And, yeah, excellent. Mercenaries from Hong Kong and The Boxer's Omen. Mercenaries from Hong Kong is kind of like the Expendables of Shaw Brothers. It gets together all their stars, and it's like an Expendables movie. It's just, yeah, mission crazy, tons of guns and stuff. Boxer's Omen is unreal horror movie. I've talked about it before on my channel. It's fucking whacked. Crazy shit. There's flying heads in this. There's, oh man, just check that movie out. It's cool. Martial Arts of Shaolin. This is one of Jet Li's first ever movies. Really good, really funny as well. He's hilarious in it. And The Barefooted Kid, also a really heartfelt, good movie. This one is more like just hilarious. Like, I was laughing constantly. And Jet Li's speed is fucking on display in this one. It's nuts. And then you got your 2 music discs. And then this one, I just got today. The day it came out. Here in Canada, at least. This is volume 3 in a fucking beautiful green. Like, God, I love the coloring on these, man. Like, they just shine, too. Like, my camera probably isn't picking up just how beautiful this is. Like, this blue one, they all have tints on them, and they're just, when the light hits them on different directions, they just glare. They're freaking gorgeous. Just awesome. What do we got here? We got our thick book again, showing off all the movies. I won't go in depth on that, because as a collector, I also don't like showing off too much of the goodies, because if you buy this, it is that feeling of when you open it and you get to look through the pages of the book for the first time and all that. I don't like ruining it. But what I will ruin is what it looks like on the inside. One-Armed Swordsman. Heard nothing but great shit about this movie. Can't wait to watch it. And this is the first of a trilogy. The next page should be the second too. Return of the One-Armed Swordsman and the New One-Armed Swordsman. Can't frickin' wait. This is Alexander Fu Shang, right? I think. Who's just awesome martial artist. Or is this Wang Yu? Alexander Wang Yu. I can't remember. Like I said, I just opened this. This is the first time I'm going through the pages. Next up here, we got The Lady Hermit and Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan. Heard great things about this one, and I don't know what Lady Hermit is, but that sounds fucking amazing. And this guy with claw fingers looks fucking cool too. The 14 Amazons, look at that. That's a freaking selling point right there, man. Oh, I love these pictures where it's all the different heroes and villains and stuff on the page. It just sucks me right in. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see who those people are in the movie. The Magic Blade and Clans of Intrigue. Sorry, one sec. Throat's itchy from talking so much, so fast. Get so excited with these. I have never heard of either of these, but can't wait to watch them. Jade Tiger and the Sentimental Swordsman. Never heard of them, but man, that's one thing with these is that you're guaranteed. Like, these are guaranteed to be good. I love it. Ooh, this one I have heard of. The Avenging Eagle. Supposed to be one of the all-time greats by Shaw Brothers. Can't wait for that. And Killer Constable has Cheng. Oh my goodness. I am so terrible with names, like I've said 1,000 times. I know all these people's names, but when I get on here, I can't remember. Excellent, though. I can't wait for those two. And then these are the last two. We got Buddha's Palm and Bastard Swordsman. Buddha's Palm, I can't wait, because anybody that's seen the movie... Oh, and then it comes with the music as well. Anybody that's seen the movie Kung Fu Hustle from the mid-2000s with Stephen Chow and a whole bunch of these legend martial artists. He learns the Buddhist palm technique, and it makes him like a god. So I don't know this, but I feel like it's probably the idea was taken from this movie. I'm guessing. Because that's another thing you'll notice, is that a lot of modern movies and directors take a lot from these classics, and they use it in their movies. And if you haven't seen these classics, like Quentin Tarantino, for example, he's been one of my... he's possibly my favorite director of all time. I absolutely love his movies. But as I've been gaining a deeper knowledge of classic cinema, even like most importantly these martial arts movies, I've realized that all he really does is take all the great stuff from these movies and put them in modern movies. And that's awesome because he's a fucking genius at it, and he does such a good job, and his modern movies are some of my favorite movies ever made. But I did, being uneducated, did think that he was the one that created it, which he didn't. And so I was just like, okay, you're still my favorite director of all time, but you're just you're stealing from the classics here. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Look at this freaking stack. Freaking nuts. I don't even know. Do I need to stack these back up? Probably not. Yeah, just phenomenal stuff, man. You will not be disappointed if you buy the shit out of these. They are not cheap, I will say that. If you can get them on sale, obviously wait for a good sale. If you're not sure on them, then wait for a sale, obviously. But if you're gonna start, I would say start with the Arrow box sets, because they are truly the absolute cream of the crop that I've seen so far from Shaw Brothers. And then the Shout Factory ones are all the like lesser known pictures, but they're still excellent. And yeah, until next time, thank you for checking this out. I know this is a really niche genre, but it shouldn't be. It's so freaking good. But yeah, thank you for watching my movie, and I'll be back soon with my next episode, 1989, for 50 Years of Horror. Thank you for joining me.